Why teach literature? For wisdom. The writer is one who has eyes that see what's in front of his face. The proverb writer, I think it was, said, I walked by the place where the hedge was overgrown and the weeds were coming up. This is my words. And he looked and he saw and he took instruction. We need some understanding. Do we understand the circumstances are the things that stand around us, the situation in which we are in? Do we understand that? Understand the questions, the problems, the potentialities, the difficulties? Do we understand? And then are we able to discern the best course of action? Not all wisdom is created equal. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all that getting, get understanding. Well, this is important that we know that. How do we go about doing this? There is a way, the scriptures tell us, that seems right. Some characteristics of this worldly wisdom is that it's based on a natural desire. That is, an inborn desire for understanding and achievement and success. We want to have a successful life. And it pretty much depends upon our ability to reason. The definition of success, the worldly wisdom, would be whatever the seeker says success is. Godly wisdom is you're motivated by a healthy fear of the Lord that moves you then to responsible action. And we do not depend upon human reason. However, we do use our God-given reason and our abilities to think, coupled with a dependence upon His Spirit to guide us into truth, and I would say, as children also, coupled with a respect and an openness to be taught by those who are teaching you. There's a lot of talk about critical thinking today, and it has its role. But I would like to caution us that critical thinking can become idolatry, the same as any other thing that we focus on solely. When we use critical thinking, we do, in a sense, hold things at arm's length, and we look at them, and we evaluate them. What is this? Where does it come from? What's it trying to accomplish? And we're very, very careful before we adopt it. Now, the risk is that it can put whatever we study beneath us, putting our mind into the driver's seat. It depends quite a bit on the seeker as to what he gets from this. You can't assume that just because somebody reads something or studies something or hears something that he is going to gain godly wisdom from that. That's why it does make a big difference who the teacher is, who the person is who guides this person to his thinking. Teaching literature involves helping the students to engage. When I would say engage here, it's to interact with a literary work in a way that influences how they live their lives from that day forward. And I'm not saying that tongue-in-cheek. I actually mean that. When you read something, you read it, if it's worthwhile reading, you read it, and it influences you in some way. Your attitudes, your thinking, your understanding in some way. Now, we may not remember having read it, and that doesn't matter. I don't remember every meal I've eaten. I can't tell you what I had for lunch on July 13th, 1987. But what I ate that day influenced my life. We can't name all the stories we've read, all the things we've read, and say, I read this then, therefore I think this now. People who truly read literature grow a little with each piece they read. They may be enlightened, inspired, encouraged, or warned. They may gain knowledge, insight, or motivation. Quality literature has both themes of substance along with excellence of form and expression. Students see straight through some things. Some selections are so thin that the reader can tell you before they start, Dad's going to go away and he's going to tell the boys to behave and the boys are going to do something they shouldn't do. And then when Dad gets home, why, the boys are going to be called on the carpet, and it's just a question of what it is this time. That kind of writing deals with real things of life, but it's not literary. And so sometimes actually telling the reader what to think or how to think actually sometimes undermines the purpose. But effective stories show truth in action. If you have something with excellent form and expression, but don't have substance, then it becomes this sounding brass that Paul talks about. It's a rich privilege to be able to discuss with students the content here. Here's where you come together. And so we read in the village blacksmith, his hair is crisp and black and long. His face is like the tan. His brow is wet with honest sweat. He earns whate'er he can and looks the whole world in the face, for he owes not any man. His brow is wet with honest sweat. Is there such a thing as dishonest sweat? He looks the whole world in the face, for he owes not any man. What does it mean to look someone in the face? For what reason might you not be able to look someone in the face? What might be a reason why your eyes might go down? Toiling, rejoicing, sorrowing. Onward through life he goes. Each morning sees some task begun. Each evening sees it close. Something attempted, something done has earned a night's repose. Toiling, rejoicing, sorrowing. If you had to pick 3 words, what 3 words would you pick to describe life? And that middle one there is a powerful one. These lines you can take with you to the bank and you can use them for the rest of your life. Think about it in the evening when you put your head in the pillow. Something attempted, something done. Have you done that today? Have you attempted something? Have you done something? When you discuss literary pieces, it gives you opportunity to deal with these things of substance that make life what it is, and also it builds tremendous opportunities for discussion and to develop the skills in students to actually talk out loud about what they're thinking and to hear each other talk and to learn from each other.